Okay, today's topic, I'm very excited. Imagine you're standing in your room, same floor, same walls, same slightly judgmental laundry chair. But now imagine this, there's another world right next to you, not far away, not across space, not past a galaxy, not behind a black hole, right here, closer than your own hand. And you cannot see it, you cannot touch it, you cannot hear it. Not because it is hiding, because your body was never built to point in that direction. That is the part that makes dimensions so strange. In science fictions, dimensions are usually doors. A glowing circle opens in the air, someone with suspiciously perfect hair steps through, and suddenly we are in another universe where everyone is evil, rich, or wearing leather. But in real science, dimensions are not doors, they are directions. You can move forward, backward, left, right, up, and down. That is three dimensions of space. Then, time comes along, like the annoying group project member, and says, actually, I'm involved too. So, we live in a universe with three dimensions of space and one dimension of time. At least that is what we experience. But here is the question, what if reality has more directions than we can move through? What if the universe is not just bigger than we imagined, but shaped in a way our brains and bodies cannot fully access? That sounds like fantasy, but physicists have taken extra dimensions seriously. Not because someone watched a sci fi movie and said, guys, hear me out. Because some theories in physics work better if there are more dimensions hiding underneath reality. The strange thing is, these extra dimensions do not have to look like giant parallel hallways. They might be tiny, curled up, folded into the structure of space itself. So small that every point around you could contain them, and you would never notice. Which is rude, honestly. Imagine being rent in three dimensions while the universe has secret rooms you cannot use. But this is where the story gets interesting. If extra dimensions exist, scientists probably cannot just build a doorway and walk into them. At least, not with anything we understand today. We are not close to a portal machine. We are not opening a glowing hole in the lab. And CERN is not secretly sending interns into universe number 7. Probably. No. What scientists can do today is much quieter. They look for clues, tiny clues. For example, in particle colliders, scientists smash particles together and study what comes out. Usually, energy has to balance. If something goes in, something has to come out. But some theories say that if extra dimensions exist, certain particles could seem to disappear from our universe's point of view. Not vanish like a magic trick, more like leave the part of reality our detectors can see. That would show up as missing energy. And missing energy in physics is not automatically portal confirmed. It can have many explanations. Physics is very annoying like that. You never get one weird result and immediately get to yell multiverse. You have to check the machine, check the math, check the background noise, check if someone spilled coffee on the universe again. But still, the idea is powerful because it means extra dimensions might not be impossible to test. They may be invisible but not completely untouchable. Another place scientists look is the early universe. The oldest light we can see is called the cosmic microwave background. It is basically baby picture light from the universe. The universe was about 300 3 uh, 3800. The universe is about 380,000 years old when this light was released, which sounds old, but for a universe that is basically wearing dinosaur pajamas. This ancient light carries patterns, tiny temperature differences, tiny wrinkles, tiny clues about what the universe was doing when it was very young. Some people have wondered whether these patterns could reveal something strange about the shape of reality. Maybe our universe is expanded in a certain way. Maybe other bubble universes could exist beyond what we can observe. Maybe the universe we see is not the whole story. But here's the important part: we have not proven the multiverse. Not the movie version, not the portal version, not that there is another you who made better life choices and drinks enough water version. The multiverse is an idea. Actually, it is several different ideas wearing the same jacket. One version comes from cosmic inflation. That is the idea that the early universe expanded extremely fast. Some theories suggest that inflation might not stop everywhere at once. So, while a universe becomes one bubble, other bubbles could form elsewhere. Each bubble might have different conditions, different physics, different constant, different rules, which is both fascinating and deeply unfair. Because imagine another universe where buffering does not exist. Another version comes from quantum mechanics. In many world idea, every quantum possibility happens, but in different branches. This does not mean every tiny daily decision creates a cute little universe where you ordered fries instead of rice. People oversimplify it a lot. But the basic idea is that reality may not pick one outcome the way we think it does. Maybe all possible outcomes exist in a larger quantum structure. That is a version that makes everyone stare at a wall for 15 minutes. Then there are brane world ideas. In some models, our universe could be like a sheet or brane inside a higher dimensional space. Other universes could be other brains, not above us like upstairs, not next door like apartment 3D, but separately by a kind of direction we cannot move through. And sometimes people imagine what would happen if two branches touched. Could that create something like Big Bang? Could universes interact? Could gravity leak between them? These are not confirmed facts, they are models. They are attempts to explain universe using math that sometimes sounds like it was written during a fever dream. But that is the fun part. Science does not begin with certainty. It begins with this is weird. Can we test it? So, could we actually do today? First, we can look for missing energy in particle collisions. If something seems to carry energy away in a way that fits an extra dimension model, that would be interesting. Not proof by itself, but interesting. Second, we can test gravity at very tiny distances. Gravity is strangely weak compared to other forces. A tiny magnet can pick up a paperclip even though the entire earth is pulling it down. That is embarrassing for gravity. Some extra dimension theories try to explain this by suggesting gravity might spread into dimensions we do not experience. So scientists test whether gravity behaves differently at very small scales. Third, we can study the universe's oldest light. If there are unusual patterns in cosmic microwave background, scientists can ask whether they fit known physics or something stranger. Fourth, we can keep improving telescopes, gravitational wave detectors, and particle experiments. Not because one of them will suddenly show a sign saying, "Welcome to the multiverse. Please keep your hands inside the timeline." But because if reality had hidden structure, it may leave fingerprints. That is the realistic version. Not portals, not buttons. No scientist saying it's stable enough. 5 seconds before it is absolutely not stable enough. Just clues, numbers, patterns, energy, gravity, light. The universe whispering through the only language it seems to respect: evidence. Now let's talk about the do's and don'ts. Do say extra dimensions are a serious theoretical idea. Do say some experiments can test certain predictions connected to extra dimensions. Do say the multiverse is possible in some models but not proven. Do say science fiction takes real questions and turns them into doors, monsters, empires, and very dramatic light. That is allowed. That is half the fun. But don't say CERN is opening portals. Don't say the Mandela effect proves parallel universes. Don't say black holes are definitely gateways to other realities. Don't say we are close to traveling to another dimension, because we are not. Right now, we do not even know if other universes exist in a way we could ever reach. And even if it does, Reaching it might not be a technology problem, it might be a category problem. Like asking a drawing on paper to jump off the page. The drawing is not lazy, it is trapped by the rules of the surface it lives on. And maybe we are too. Maybe we are not missing other universes because they are fair. Maybe we are missing them because far is the wrong direction. That is the part that gets under my skin. If other universes are separated by us by distance, fine. We can at least imagine traveling. Build a better engine, go faster, wait longer, pack snacks. But what if another universe is separated from us by a dimension we cannot access? Then it could be closer than the air in front of your face, and still more unreachable than the edge of the observable universe. That is a different kind of lonely. Science fiction makes the multiverse feel crowded. Infinite versions of us, infinite Earths, infinite choices, infinite drama. But real science might be quieter. Maybe there are no other universes. Maybe this is it. One universe, one shot, one extremely confusing place where socks disappear and stars explode. Or maybe there are countless others and none of them can ever know we exist. Not because they are ignoring us, because the walls between realities are not made of stone. They're made of rules. And rules are harder to break than walls. So, could we open a door to another universe? Other dimension? Today? No. We do not have the evidence, we do not have the technology. We do not even know if there is a where to open the door into. But could science one day find signs that reality has more dimensions than we thought? Yes. That is the part that makes this more than fiction. The dream of multiverse is not that we definitely will walk into another world. The dream is that the reality may still be deeper than our senses can report. We keep thinking the universe is a place, but what if it is also a structure, a shape, a system, a set of hidden layers, and we are living on one tiny slice of it, calling that slice everything? It is like standing in one room and saying, "This house has no upstairs," because you have never seen stairs. Maybe there are no stairs, maybe there is no upstairs, or maybe the stars were never built for creatures like us. And that leaves one question. If another universe were touching ours right now, so close that it almost brushed against your skin, would you want to find the door, or would you be afraid of what might notice us knocking?